Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something you might think you already understand, positive emotions. You sent us this article about how they're, well, more than just, fleeting good vibes.
Right.
It says they can actually, change how we think, build skills, and even boost our well-being over time.
Yeah, that's right. The article really digs into what's called the broaden-and-build theory. It's fascinating. It's a look at how feeling joy or interest, love can broaden our minds and our actions.
Okay, so buckle up, because we're about to explore some surprising examples and key takeaways that might just change how you view happiness.
The first thing this theory kind of points out is how positive emotions, they seem to widen our range of options, what we feel like we can do.
Yeah. The article uses this term thought-action repertoires.
Right.
But, let's be real.
Yeah.
Who talks like that? It basically means when we're feeling good, our minds just open up to more possibilities.
Exactly. Think about it like when you're happy, are you more likely to say yes to trying something new or learning a new skill or even just reaching out to someone?
Yeah, it's like that feeling of when you get good news and suddenly you're full of energy and ideas.
And there's actually research that backs this up. One study found that people who watched happy films, they came up with more ideas for things they wanted to do compared to those who watched sad or neutral films.
So, if you're feeling stuck in a rut, maybe a dose of comedy is what you need to get those creative juices flowing.
Could be.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The article talks about the undoing effect, this idea that positive emotions can actually reverse the negative impact of stress, like an antidote.
It really is. It's like hitting the reset button on your stress response. Think about it this way. You've had a tough day at work, deadlines, and you're feeling all tense. But then you come home and you put on some music you love and you dance around the kitchen and suddenly the stress just melts away.
I like that.
Yeah.
They even did a study where people had to give a really stressful speech, and then they watched different films. The people who watched, joyful or content films, they recovered from their anxiety so much faster than those who, watched sad or neutral films. Their heart rate and blood pressure went back to normal more quickly, and they just felt less tense overall.
So it really seems like positive emotions help us kind of bounce back more quickly from, tough situations. And that's a big deal because if stress hangs around too long, it can really take a toll on our physical and mental health.
Absolutely. So we've seen how positive emotions can help us in the moment, but what about long-term resilience?
Well, the article suggests that positive emotions actually play a crucial role in building resilience, that ability to bounce back from challenges and setbacks.
So it's not just about having a sunny outlook on life, but developing those inner resources and coping strategies that help us kind of navigate the rough patches, right?
Exactly.
And the research suggests that experiencing positive emotions kind of helps us do just that. One study found that people who scored higher in resilience, meaning they generally cope well with stress, they also experienced more positive emotions during a stressful task.
Yeah, so it seems like those who are good at handling stress are also better at finding those moments of joy or interest even when things are tough.
Interesting. And these positive emotions, they don't just, help us cope. They might actually help us become more resilient over time.
Yeah, it's like a positive feedback loop. Positive emotions lead to better coping, which leads to more positive emotions.
Snowball effect. Which brings us to the final point in this article, this concept of upward spirals. This part really got me thinking.
Yeah, this is interesting.
It's this fascinating idea that positive emotions can create a chain reaction of positivity, where one good feeling leads to another and another, creating this cascade of positive experiences.
I like that.
Yeah, so imagine this, right? You wake up feeling grateful for the sunshine streaming through your window, and that feeling of gratitude leads you to call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. And that leads to a fun conversation and plans to get together, and later that day you feel inspired to tackle a project you've been putting off, and you end up feeling proud of yourself for making progress.
Yeah, so each of those experiences builds on the last one, creating a cycle of positive emotions and actions. And the research suggests that this upward spiral can actually become a pattern in our lives, leading to, greater happiness and well-being.
And what's really fascinating is that the article highlights how even small moments of joy or interest, love, can set off this chain reaction.
Yeah, it's not about waiting for huge life changes or grand gestures. It's about appreciating those everyday moments of positivity and letting them, ripple outwards.
Yeah.
Even seemingly insignificant positive experiences can have a much bigger impact than we realize.
Right.
They can shift our perspective, boost our mood, and even inspire us to, take positive actions that lead to even more good things.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, and I'm already feeling a bit more optimistic about the power of positive emotions. But let's take a quick break and then come back to discuss some practical ways you can actually, apply these ideas to your own life.
Absolutely. We'll dive into some specific strategies and examples that you can use to start cultivating more positivity starting today.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, so we're back and ready to kind of dive into how you can actually put this broaden and build theory to work in your own life. Because, I mean, let's be honest, knowing about the science is cool, but what really matters is like how we can use it to feel better and live better,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. So let's talk about some practical strategies. The article mentions this thing about savoring positive experiences. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's all about being present in the moment and
Right.
really taking in those good feelings. So instead of just letting those happy moments slip by, unnoticed, you really try to like absorb them. Notice the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the sound of your favorite song, or the taste of a delicious meal.
It's like you're trying to like imprint that good feeling in your memory.
Exactly. Yeah. And research actually suggests that this practice of savoring can actually boost our mood and make those positive emotions last longer.
Makes sense. It's like when you take a picture of like
Mhm.
something beautiful, you're not just capturing the image, you're also trying to like preserve the feeling you had when you saw it.
Yeah, exactly. And another powerful way to cultivate positive emotions is through gratitude.
Oh yeah. Gratitude. Everyone talks about it, but like, does it really work?
It really does. Studies have shown that regularly practicing gratitude can have a pretty significant impact on our well-being. It can boost our mood, reduce stress, improve sleep, and even strengthen our relationships.
Wow, that's a lot. So how do we actually like practice gratitude? Is it just about saying thank you more often?
Well, it can be that simple, but there are also more structured ways to approach it. Some people find it helpful to keep like a gratitude journal where they write down like a few things they're grateful for each day. Others prefer to kind of incorporate gratitude into their daily routines, like taking a moment each morning to reflect on what they're thankful for, or expressing appreciation to someone they care about.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds easy enough, but I think the real challenge is like remembering to do it, consistently.
Yeah, that's true. It's like any new habit. It takes effort and practice to make it stick. But even small, consistent acts of gratitude can make a big difference over time.
So we've talked about savoring and gratitude. What are some other ways to bring like more positivity into our lives?
Well, the article emphasizes the importance of engaging in activities that spark joy and interest. And this is where it gets really personal because, what brings one person joy might be completely different for someone else.
Right. Like, for some people, it might be spending time in nature, while for others, it might be like going to a concert
Yeah.
or working on a creative project.
Exactly. It's all about identifying what lights you up and making time for those activities in your life.
I think sometimes, we get so caught up in like our responsibilities and our to-do lists that we forget to prioritize the things that actually like make us feel good.
Yeah, it's so true. But scheduling those enjoyable activities into your week, it can be like a game changer. It's like making a date with yourself for something you love.
Ooh, I love that. A date with joy. And I imagine those positive emotions from those activities could then like spill over into other areas of our lives, right?
Absolutely. It's like that upward spiral we talked about earlier. When we prioritize those joyful experiences, we kind of create a ripple effect of positivity.
So we've talked about savoring and gratitude and engaging in joyful activities, but the article also mentions the importance of, social connection.
Yes, nurturing our relationships with loved ones is essential for cultivating those positive emotions. Humans are social creatures. We thrive on connection. Spending quality time with family and friends, sharing experiences, offering support, and simply laughing together. It can create this really profound sense of of belonging and well-being.
Yeah, I think a lot of us underestimate the power of those everyday interactions. Quick chat with a friend or a hug from a loved one or even just a shared smile with a stranger. These seemingly small moments can actually make a big difference in how we feel.
Right. And those small moments, they add up over time. And they create like a foundation of positive emotions that can help us through those challenging times.
This is all starting to sound a lot like building a positive emotion toolkit.
It is a bit like that. And, you can personalize your toolkit with the strategies that work best for you. You can experiment with different gratitude practices or find new hobbies that spark your interest or just make time for social connections that nourish your soul.
Okay, so this has been incredibly helpful, but let's be realistic, Life isn't always like sunshine and roses. There are going to be times when we're faced with stress and setbacks and difficult emotions. What does this broaden and build theory have to say about dealing with those tough times?
Oh, right. Yeah. It's not about, living in this bubble of like positivity and pretending that, those difficult emotions don't exist.
Right.
It's more about like how we respond to those inevitable challenges. Yeah, and that's where all those positive emotions that we've been, talking about, they really come into play. Remember that undoing effect.
Yeah.
Those positive emotions can actually help us recover more quickly from stress and negative experiences.
So it's not about like avoiding the tough times, but more about having those tools to help us bounce back.
Yeah, exactly. And the more we, practice cultivating those positive emotions and in our daily lives, the more readily available they are when we really need them.
So it's almost like we're building up this reserve of positivity that we can, draw on when things get tough.
That's a great way to put it. It's like having an emotional savings account that we can tap into during those challenging times.
Okay, I like that. So even when we're, feeling stressed or down, we can still try to access those positive emotions that we've been cultivating.
Absolutely. It might not be, easy at first, but it's like flexing a muscle.
Mm.
The more we practice, the stronger it gets. And even small moments of positivity can make a big difference. Remember that study about the people giving those stressful speeches?
Oh,
The
yeah.
ones who are more resilient, they were also the ones who were able to find moments of joy or interest, even during that really challenging task.
Yeah. It's like they were able to tap into like their inner reserve of positivity to help them through it.
Exactly. And that's something that we can all learn to do. It might involve taking a few deep breaths or focusing on something that we're grateful for, or even just reminding ourselves of something that makes us, smile.
So it's not about, denying those difficult emotions,
Right.
but more about finding those glimmers of positivity that can help us cope.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes those small moments of positivity can actually lead to a shift in perspective, help us to see the situation in a new light or find creative solutions that we might not have considered before.
It kind of goes back to that whole broaden and build idea.
Right.
Even when things are, tough, those positive emotions can help us broaden our thinking, see more possibilities, and really build that resilience.
And what's amazing is that those small moments of positivity can then spark those upward spirals, that we talked about earlier, leading to more positive experiences and actions and emotions.
Yeah, so even in the midst of challenges, we can still plant those seeds of positivity that can eventually, blossom into something beautiful.
It's a powerful message of hope and possibility.
Wow, this deep dive has been truly eye-opening. I feel like I have a whole new understanding of positive emotions and how they can, impact our lives.
And remember, it's not just about feeling good. It's about thinking differently, building resilience and creating those upward spirals of positivity that can really transform our lives from the inside out.
So what does this all mean for you? We would encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the ways you can invite more positive emotions into your life. What are some small changes you can make to start cultivating more joy, gratitude, and connection?
Yeah, even small steps can have, a big impact over time. And remember, there's no one size fits all approach, It's about finding what works best for you and creating your own personalized positive emotion toolkit.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the power of positive emotions, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show for more fascinating explorations. We'll be back next week with another listener-inspired deep dive into a topic you care about.